Welcome to Recovering Addict. I'm your host, LT, and I am an alcoholic addict. What?
I'm your co-host, Felice Weaver, not an alcoholic addict, but married to one.
That's true. If this is your first time catching the show, what you can expect here is support in recovery because we need to recover together. We all have different sobriety dates. We all have different journeys in life. We all recover at different times and at different speeds, but we all recover together and we all have something to learn from each other. And the more support we have, the better it is. So if you're brand new to recovery, welcome. You've just found a place a bridge to a great community that will help support you and help you stay sober. And if you have years of sobriety under your belt, you'll find education to stay and learn and continue to grow in sobriety as we go through books on this channel. Right now we're on chapter, I believe it's 18. Yeah, chapter 18 on addictive thinking, understanding self-deception. Our topic tonight is going to be, does someone need to reach rock bottom? And what the heck is rock bottom? What was your rock bottom?
Good.
And all that kind of stuff.
I heard a little bit from you guys yesterday about rock bottom.
Yeah. And with that, I have hit rock bottom twice. My rock bottom, right? Everybody's rock bottom is different from what I was reading. The first time I was scared out of addiction by a year in jail, 4 months in a halfway house, 3 years of probation. I was a meth addict. I was an anything in front of my face addict. And then in my late 30s, after a good stint of sobriety, I started drinking casually, not even understanding the drinking or not understanding what addiction or addict mind or the fact that I have an allergy to these chemicals and this alcohol, and turned into a full-fledged, full-blown alcoholic, fifth a night, gallons on the weekend, whiskey drinker. Had to check into detox and then finally learned what recovery is. Now we're on that road to recovery and there's no looking back. The future is brighter than ever and things are amazing. I'll let Felice say hi to everybody in the chat.
I'm going to still mouse pad.
She's going to ruin the show.
Probably.
She's going to, if we go blank, it's her fault.
Most likely. My fat fingers. Sharif. No worries on your canceled Zoom.
I didn't even know it was canceled. I must have missed that one. I looked for the link, but I couldn't find the link.
Because it's canceled.
I guess so.
Hey, Desmond. Nice to see you. Hi, Linky. Love you.
Hey, Linky.
That's my baby boy. Hi, Brittany. How you doing today?
Brittany, hugs and kisses to you and the fam.
Christine, I'm completely at rock bottom right now. I haven't relapsed, just at rock bottom, like bad.
Oh, what can we do to help?
Yeah,
You know, our private Facebook group, I'm pretty sure you're a member in there. Reach out, let people know, and then let's get into each other's DMs. If you need to talk, you can set something up where Felice and I can Skype with you just personally, one-on-one. And if you just need somebody to listen or whatever, let us know. Please let us know.
Yeah. Hi, Marilyn.
Marilyn, how are you doing?
Thanks. Sheree says hi. Can I say hi to you already, Teeter?
Mr. Teeter. That's a $900 man right there.
More than I'm worth, apparently. Hi, Ashley. Good to see you again tonight.
Ashley.
What up, Petey?
Ashley, we are mailing off the shirt tomorrow.
Yes.
Also, Corey, if you're listening, your shirt will be mailed and will be in the mail as well tomorrow.
How is it with no kids? Sounds like you're coming home tomorrow.
We don't have kids, Link. That's how it is. You live there now, bud.
Have fun at Kelly's house, your new home, your forever home.
You moved out. You didn't know it, but you moved out, bud. Mark, what's going on, brother?
What up, Mark? Aaron, it's been a few days. I'm glad
Aaron,
my
how
best
the heck are
friend
you
and
doing?
next door neighbor.
I saw somebody today. Where were we? It's hot here in Utah. Well, compared to Australia, I doubt it, but it's 92 degrees, whatever that is Celsius. You Australians figure it out. It was 92 degrees Fahrenheit. I saw somebody, it reminded me of that time Erin was at our Zoom meeting. She had her little own personal fan right there.
I thought about you today, Erin, too, because we just talked about food in my cubicle all day. I was like, Erin, I love this conversation. Chocolate-covered bacon and peanut butter bars.
That sounds good.
Hey, Chad, what's up? How's the stream team?
What up, Chad?
We're doing good.
How you doing, brother?
We're doing real good.
Oh, I want to make a quick announcement real quick. You see this person right here in the chat? Christy? She is going to be on tomorrow night to give us her story. She's out there in Texas. She's got 5 years of sobriety under her belt, and she is eager to share her strength and hope with everybody. So make sure y'all tune in tomorrow night because we're going to have a speaker meeting. And you know how much I love those because I don't have to sit here and blab or listen to Felice.
Listen to me hack up a lung in this microphone.
So Christy will be on tomorrow night. I will post that right after this live. I'll make the thumbnail and make sure it's all scheduled and ready to go.
Yeah. What up, Jamie?
Jamie!
New
How's it
work
going?
schedule. I'd say, well, at least you got a job.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you're here. We love your chats. We love your comments in the chat.
Yeah. Hey, John.
John,
There's our radio broadcast
we
man.
talk about rock bottom tonight. Does that mean we also need to talk about the people's elbow? Asking for a friend. I don't get it. I don't get it. John, that went straight over my head. You might have to explain.
Was that like a rock joke?
Oh. Yeah. Can you smell? Okay.
Oh my
God. I gotcha.
Soulmates.
The people's elbow.
Hey, Grandma T.
Hi, Mom.
Oh, here's Christine. She's been accused of some stuff, probably cost her her freedom.
Oh, no.
Scared to death right now. I lost my job and can't even fathom.
Oh,
Scary,
no.
like super scary.
I'm sorry.
That is a very tough situation.
Oh, man.
Wish there was something we could do.
I know the words thoughts and prayers don't help, it seems, but just know that our hearts and compassion and love go out to you.
Yep, reach out if you just need to talk.
Yeah, if you need us, you know how to get a hold of us, so don't ever hesitate.
Jacqueline.
Jacqueline.
The same one from Facebook with the blue mask. Or the same one. Let's see. Misty Johns.
I love how Merck in the comments always has to refer to our Australian friends in an Australian language. You know, he said, good day.
Good day.
Good day.
Good day. What do you mean?
Hey, Misty, how's it going?
Oh, hey, Amber.
Amber, what's going on?
Maria in the house.
Hi, Maria.
Maria in the house. So it's Bob.
Hey, Bob. So the answer to the Zoom meeting tonight apparently was canceled. I did not know that.
I think I missed a whole thread of stuff because I read some. Oh, yeah. Petey.
Hey, Petey.
Happy 100 show.
Oh, yeah. I was going to make a special video, but I didn't know what to make, so I didn't. But it's our 100th show, and for all you that have been here since the beginning supporting this, thank you very much. You guys are the inspiration that keeps us going. Knowing that there's a community behind this channel that's supporting and loving, and I've never seen compassion on any other groups around. I mean, locally, I mean, just the compassionate and thoughtful words that everybody is just there for each other. It's overwhelming.
What up, Soupy's in the house. So
What's
JJ
up, Soupy?
and TJ.
Hitting that vape like what? Like a gangsta. Well, you can really tell now because my green screen would block out how much I was blowing before because it'd make it disappear, but not now.
Link. Bedrock in his bottom. Laying in the sand. What? And Thomas. I think I got everybody. It went real fast there for a second. I missed some people. Jeremy's here. Merkalicious.
What is
Misha? There's my BF.
Hey, Misha Morgan, spinning fire.
That's my sponsor.
That's Felice's sponsor.
That's my workout sponsor.
Yeah, they say they're working out, and I went to change the sprinkler around and peeked in there at them. They were just standing there talking.
We were just talking. She had to tell me all about her.
Comes in all sweaty. Why are you sweaty? Oh, it's 100 degrees in the shop. That's why. Not because you were working
out.
It's
our sweatshop. It's
like a sauna.
We just got in the sauna.
We just go out here and sweat.
Yeah, works. It's working. Is that Australian for hi, Merc?
Crikey. What did Sky say today? Merc, something about Merc. I caught me off guard and I freaking rolled. It was so funny.
See, we need to talk about
We need to talk about it.
And things we need to talk. We have to talk.
Gotta get it out there. Gotta get it off their chests.
Oh, hey, Raylene. Glad you're here again. Your show's my favorite. Oh, thanks, Marilyn.
Thanks, Marilyn.
That's wonderful to hear.
Yeah, everybody's support is what keeps me going. You guys, like I said before, I would not be this far along in recovery if it wasn't for you guys. I would not be studying recovery like I do if it weren't for y'all. There's no way that I would in-depthly read this many books this fast and read each chapter 2 to 3 times a day. You know what I mean? Because I try to make sure I understand what this chapter is about before I go up here yakking about it.
Desmond says they talk normally.
What?
crikey.
Oh, yeah.
Normally.
We watched Crocodile Dundee does. We know.
I know how y'all talk. I think I got, if I missed you, I'm sorry. Hello, all those out there.
Yeah, and if you're new to
digital
this,
bushes.
if you're new to this channel, come out of the digital bushes, drop your recovery sobriety date in the chat. Let us congratulate you.
100, buddy.
And on our 100th show, let's read our 24 hours a day. This is June 24th, AA thought of the day. And remember, even though we're talking AA when I read this and we read NA at the end, you can replace drugs and alcohol interchangeably. Alcohol is our weakness. We suffer from mental conflicts from which we look for escape by drowning our problems in drink. We try through drink to push away from the realities of life. But alcohol does not feed, alcohol does not build, it only borrows from the future, and it ultimately destroys. We try to drown out our feelings in order to escape life's realities, little realizing or caring that in continued drinking we are all only multiplying our problems. Here's our question for us. Have I got control over my unstable emotions? Do you have control of over your unstable emotions? People that are close to you, people that watch you, will be able to see. A lot of times we don't see it. I feel like I'm getting better at it.
All you Aussies out there, it sounds like there's another one named Mrs. Chuck.
Who's Miss Chuck? Who's that?
Stone the Crows. It's another Australian.
Stone the Crows.
We got more of you.
I love it.
Or as Polly would say, more views.
We got more reviews. Hey, Maria, look at the sobriety dates right there.
Yep, I'm going through them.
6 months for Jacqueline. Good job.
Nice,
Ashley. Good job.
I seen another one. Right here.
It's true, man. When we drink, we only borrow from the future. When you're having fun that night, you're borrowing from the fun you could be having tomorrow, because tomorrow you just drowned in hangovers. Did you guys see that? Hey, Sky, what did you say on the Facebook group today? It was so hilarious. Like I wasn't even expecting. I'd looked through and there it was, and you said Merc something, and man, it floored me. It was hilarious. Here's our meditation of the day. When I let personal, why do you say that word? PICUs?
Where's that?
Personal PICUs and resentments interfere with what I know to be my proper conduct, I am on the wrong track. When I let personal resentments interfere with what I know to be my proper conduct, I'm on the wrong track. And I'm undoing all I have built by doing and I'm undoing all I have built up by doing the right thing. I must never let personal cues I gotta look that up. Interfere with living the way I know God wants me to live. When I have no clear guidance from God, I must go forward quietly along the path of duty. The attitude of quiet faith will receive its reward as surely as acting upon God's direct guidance. I must not weaken my spiritual power by letting personal, that word, upset me.
That word.
Let me look it up. I'm screwing it up.
This guy's looking up the word she used for Merc.
Oh, good, because that was
Polly.
Really funny. There's my brother. What's up, Polly?
Hey, Raylene, did Peter buy you some Pinion coffee too? Or do you drink it together? It's delicious. Peaks?
Stimulate. Feel irritated or resentful. Peaks. Letting personal peaks upset me. I must not weaken my spiritual power by letting personal resentments upset me. Is basically what that says. So our prayer for the day is, I pray that I may not let myself become too upset. I pray that I may go quietly along the path I have chosen. And it's true, once we feel that emotion of anger and we get upset and all of a sudden we just vomit our character defects all over everything, it doesn't do anything for us. It only makes the situation worse. Were we to control that anger, especially if it's, remember what we learned, reflex or reaction or righteous anger, if it's not the righteous anger that causes, righteous anger produces good action into something that's injustice. But if it's just reflex and reaction, it's probably not going to produce anything good for you to react out on it. So to swallow it a little bit, thinking and praying about it, calming down, and then addressing the situation from a recovery mind frame would probably be the best way I would suggest. So let's not do that. Let's stay spiritually fit. Let's stay in recovery, the road to recovery. It's where we want to be. Also, on the Sunday night Zoom, I talked about finding us a book to go through, right? And this book, I'm going to pull up the screen. Maybe not. But it's called Thinking About God. It's about philosophy. And I read the first introduction of it, and it looks like it's going to be good. So we got something to get our minds on the right track and to start thinking about things. And we will go over that on Sunday night. We will do the introduction to this book on Sunday night. It looks really amazing.
Sweet. Sky said, I found it. I said, have to go buy a birthday card at Hallmark. Or was it when she said Three Musketeers?
It was a different one. Three Musketeers. That's a good one too. I'll find it.
There's lots of them, apparently. Lots of Merkisms.
It was fabulous. I'm going to find it. Felice can talk for a minute.
I can talk. Yeah. Andrew, don't be mad at Peter if he buys people presents. It's my fault. That sounds like there's a gift going to Teeter from the Aussies. I hope it's Vegemite.
Sweet. Vegemite, Des? What's up with that, man?
Do you guys all eat Vegemite? It's like Australians have to eat Vegemite.
TJ looked it up. It's like one of those.
Merkin season. No?
Oh, she said, Merc, no mistake. It's going to be a great week. Oh, yeah, Merc got it. Oh, that's hilarious.
I love it.
Merc, no mistake. Merc, no mistake. We're on the road to recovery in this here group. It's awesome.
It's cheaper than your meat. The Vegemite is. Is it high in protein?
I'll bet the sodium count is just off the charts.
Probably. Oh, the package is coming to us. Is it Vegemite? Sorry, Peter. I read it was like all one sentence. I'm sorry.
Rock bottom. How many of y'all hit rock bottom? If you hit rock bottom, hit that like button. How do you like that little switcheroo?
I'll hit it.
So true recovery from addiction means more than simply abstinence. Oh, imagine that. We've been learning that for a long time. The true recovery is more than just a sobriety date. That's great. We got abstinent from alcohol and drugs, and that's great to never go back to do them again. But if you end up in a dry drunk syndrome and you're still bitter, you're still angry, you're still hard to be around, your family's like, it was better when you were drinking and using drugs, honestly, that's not a state you want to be in. It's almost worse than when you were actually using drugs because your family had an excuse for you. But now what's the excuse? If you're in this thought process, if people have to walk on eggshells around you because they're worried about you freaking out, that if you challenge them or make any noises, they're going to get upset. The true recovery from addiction means more than simply abstinence. It means relinquishing. I had to read this sentence a few times before it sunk in. It means relinquishing the pathological thought system and adopting a healthy one. Relinquishing the pathological thought system and adopting a healthy one. Since addiction involves a distortion of perception, only some major event or series of events can make the addict question the validity of his or her perception. The event or events that bring about this breakthrough are sometimes referred to as rock bottom. So we have to relinquish our pathological thought system. We have to adopt a new healthy one. And now, since our addiction involves a distortion of perception, only some major event or a series event can make the addict question the validity of his or her perception. Since we have a crazy perception on life, we think we're right, we think we're doing good, we think we're in control, we don't realize we're powerless, right? That's our unhealthy pathological thought system. In order to adapt a new one, to actually break through that one, there has to be a huge event, something to break through that. And a lot of times, this breaking through into your thought system that finally jars you to realize what reality is really about around you, like, oh my goodness, my house and everything is falling apart, and now I see it. Some crazy event happens usually, And this is often referred to as a rock bottom experience, when you finally get that snap into one healthy frame of thought. And it took 5 or 6 good gut punches for me in my drinking. It took a time in jail during my meth addiction.
Oh, Sky came up with a new one. Her favorite emoji is the smirk.
The smirk? Like
the smirk.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And yes, Sheree, I expect kangaroos, Vegemites, and drop bears.
That sounds pretty cool. What Bob say?
He says, I hit bottom all day today, reflecting on the incident I had to make amends. The instant he snapped at one of the meth addicts this morning, totally out of line.
Was it?
Was it? We both had the same thought. So
was it out of line?
Was it?
Or do you feel like you could have controlled yourself better, even though what you maybe have said was on point?
Working 1 to 3 on my mental health lately. It's ugly.
Oh, you know what we haven't done for a while is taking our inventory. If you want to take inventory, put a yes in the comment. We'll take our inventory real quick. Hey, Alicia, what's going on, sister?
Where are you at?
Alicia?
Yeah.
She's at the bottom.
Bottom? Ah, there you are.
Hello, fellow Utah.
It feels weird on the other side, Sheree. I'm left-handed now. Oh, BRB. On a trademark registry.
You better get it, dude. You are branding yourself without even realizing it.
You need to sign TM when we send your little peoples to you.
Yeah.
Oh, Murd in the house.
What's up, Murd? How you doing, brother?
Murd.
How's everything over in the house of Murd? How's your dad doing too?
Murd here. Oh shoot. Yeah, maybe. Threatened to shoot the SOP. It was out of line.
Okay. All right. Yeah, maybe it was a little bit out of
Was
line.
it? I'm just kidding. Oh, I see. Everybody's got their point.
Sometimes you just can't take it no more. So the term rock bottom has been traditionally used and is still widely used in the addiction field. So it just as well to preserve it. It's been used, continues to be used. We might as well preserve using it because it definitely does mean something, even though everybody's is different. What did Thomas say?
He said rock bottom was found drunk and almost nude on RR after 7 years, blind drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Wow.
Murd's doing great.
You're welcome. Your father is doing great as well. Good. Just got back from Ross doing a little shopping.
Ross is the best. That's
I
where you
love
need to
Ross.
buy your shorts.
That's where I'm going to go get all my
So
new
one
clothes.
time we went to, what was that store? It was like the DI.
Oh, yeah.
And LT thought it was Ross. He's like, this
I was
place
mad.
smells bad. I'm like, where do you think we are?
I thought this was Ross's.
It's a totally different place.
Hey, Brandon, what's going on,
That's
brother?
so funny.
So, however, it should be clarified, rock bottom does not necessarily mean total desocialization. Rock bottom does not mean total desocialization, loss of family, loss of employment. It does not mean utter disaster. All it means is that something has occurred in the life of the addict that has sufficient impact to make the addict's wish to change at least part of his or her lifestyle. So there's something that has given the addict some motivation to change his or her lifestyle. That's rock bottom. And I wish I could find it. If I went back to the Al-Anon, where we have our NA meetings, I know what cabinet, what book it is. I could grab it. I know what page it's on, but I can't remember exactly what the book is. But it described rock bottom is when you are here and you look below and you're not willing to lose anything more. You've already lost all this above you, but you ain't willing to lose anything more below you. And that's usually rock bottom. And that's kind of how this is describing it.
I thought I had hit rock bottom 9 years ago when I was unemployed, unfriendly, and everything. I entered a 3-day detox, got out, and thought I had been magically struck sober. I was wrong.
That's what I thought after my first, after I went to jail. I was abstinent from drugs and alcohol for a solid 5 years. And on top of being abstinent from alcohol, I was physically fit. I could run marathons. I could squat. I could run a mile in 6 minutes, 20 seconds. My food, everything was on point. Like you would have thought, man, this guy's never had a drug problem in his life and he never will. But I slowly started drinking, right? And then I hit another rock bottom after I, not realizing that I'm an addict. I'm an alcoholic. I didn't realize I was allergic to alcohol. Had I been listening when I was in jail and when I was in that halfway house, which was somewhat of a drug program, work release program, none of that stuck. I try to think about the couple of group therapies that we would go to, but nothing sticks out.
Bob's right there with his mental health. Ashley said that's a very interesting definition of the rock bottom. And put a fire under our butts, says Brittany.
Yeah, it does.
Yep.
Everybody's rock bottom's different. Everybody's recovery is different. Everybody's time in recovery is different, and everybody's advancement through recovery is different. Some people speed through and do good and learn all the value of it and practice it really well. Some people, it takes time, a little harder to learn and a little harder to walk.
Tracy, I hit rock bottom when I was sentenced to 2 years in prison because I stole due to my addiction.
Oh, Tracy, me too.
Jeremy, rock bottom is when you feel like everyone would be better off with you not here anymore.
Ooh,
been there many times.
That's another view of it for sure. Dang.
What up,
That's a
Sunray?
scary one. Hey, what's up, Sunray?
Yeah, that is a scary one. That's a dangerous
Peace
place
to you,
be
brother.
in your addiction right there. I'm detoxing my decision for a better life, admitted my disease. 10 years sober. The choice was made. Nice. Good job, Thomas. Actually, see, every time I've went to jail, I got high as soon as I got out, but not this time. Atta girl.
Good job.
And it just sucks that I have to go back in to do time. My sentencing is July 31st, and it's for drugs while I was in full addiction. Past coming back to get you.
The tentacles of our sin are forever reaching sometimes. We may be years and years and years from a situation that we've been a part of, and it still has this tentacle that reaches to the future. Man, it still stings.
Yeah.
I know I still have a few in my life that come back and whip me every once in a while.
Hey, Mo. Glad you're here.
Hey, Mo. So in recent years, many businesses, so if you go to Amber's channel on Put the Shovel Down, one of her favorite topics, if you remember, she came on this channel, we interviewed her, and she said one of her favorite topics is the fact that you don't have to hit rock bottom. And there's been a strategic move by employers and employees out in the district, out in the world, right, who hire employees. They put a program together called the Employee Assistant Program, EAP, right? So when an employee seems to have a problem that is affecting work performance, he or she is asked to see a counselor. So they purposely put these in here, and it kind of jolts some awareness in an addict or an alcoholic. Okay, that's who we're talking about. So if there's a problem with an employee, if they're chemically dependent, the employee is then referred for further evaluation and treatment, right? Okay, we got a problem here. Go see a counselor. Oh, it looks like you're an alcoholic or addict. We want you to go and get evaluated further. And it may implicate or implicit that an employee who refuses to seek help and continues to perform poorly will be dismissed. So this EAP program is designed to start taking this employee and wake him up to the awareness that, hey, what you're doing right now is jeopardizing your job. For men and women, this referral has constituted a rock bottom. So it jumpstarts that rock bottom for them. If it wasn't there, think about what could have happened if they continued down addiction, right? So this referral has constituted a rock bottom, and they have entered a treatment program 10 or 20 years earlier than they ever would have otherwise. So without rock bottom of feeling their job is in jeopardy, they might have progressed further to a more dire consequence. So those kind of things are good that have been set in place for us. So because of the increased awareness of chemical dependency in adolescence, most young people entering treatment have suffered few of the consequences of advanced addiction. For them, rock bottom is the desire to remain in the home and maintain a relationship with their parents. Make sense? Summary?
He says, also, so much substances inside jail's temptation to use as you have so much time. Yeah, I can see that.
I remember snorting stuff when the first time I was in jail. When I was in jail, so I became a house mouse. I cleaned the pod. I got to stay up later. And then I became the food handler or whatever. I'd go to the kitchen, grab the cart, come down, I'd serve, and then I'd pick up all the trays and take them back. And as we were walking by, we had this deal with this one cop, and this one cop would chuck his chew into this garbage can. We'd grab his chew and we'd dry it up in the mop closet. We'd find paper, thin paper, and roll it up, and then we'd sell cigarettes out of this guy's used chew.
That's gross.
Yeah, I smoked it.
Anything will do in a pinch.
Anything will work in a pinch, just like my counselor says.
Yeah. Mandy says, I feel like I've been stuck at rock bottom for the last month. Not sure why, because I'm sober. Just a bad depression and wanting to use.
Were you here for our feelings yesterday? How the addict sees colors of reality in the world?
I think I'm sure. You've seen it.
This too shall pass.
Ups and downs, roller coaster ride. AA says we raise the bottom to hit them. Talking about young people.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's good. I want to be able to do that for my kids.
Bryson said, rock bottom for me is no help from family or church. Don't trust you. Everybody don't believe you no more. End up homeless. You don't care about living no more. Just want to die. But by the grace of God, believe in me, help me. And now I'm sober. Wanted to better myself. Good job, Bryson. Sounds like you're doing good.
That's awesome. So I thought this was really cool where he takes this. He talks about the law of human gravity. So the law of human behavior that appears as inviolable as the law of gravity might as well be called the law of human gravity. A person will gravitate from a condition that appears to be one of the greater distresses to a condition that appears to be one of the lesser distresses, and it's never the reverse direction. According to this law, it is impossible for a person to choose greater distress. Any attempt to reverse the direction of choice will be as futile as trying to make water flow uphill. So you always are in a position of great distress, right? I mean, you're in these positions. And you will always make moves and make changes to the lesser distress, what appears to be less distress. And a lot of times that's how people commit suicide. They feel like there's such great distress, they look at suicide as a lesser distress. There's never a way to move from the lesser distress or what we can see as a great distress to a more greater distress, right? Alcohol and other mind-altering chemicals provide some measure of relief from discomfort, whether it is relief from anxiety, depression, loneliness, self-consciousness, or just a compulsive urge. Abstinence, at least initially, causes distress, sometimes psychological discomfort, and often severe physical discomfort. So this is the point. If we try to get addicted people to stop alcohol or other chemical use, we essentially are asking them to choose a greater distress. So right now you're feeling lonely. You got all the tragedy symptoms of whatever you want to cope with. You use drugs because that feels like a lesser distress. Now you're hooked on these drugs, but these drugs have made you think that life's okay that way. It's given you a delusional outlook on life. And to become abstinent from drugs seems like it's going to be a greater distress than to just actually stay using the drugs. But it is beyond human capacity to choose greater distress. From this analysis, it might appear that we should stop all efforts at treatment, right? No. Treatment can't work. But we know for fact that treatment does work and that people do achieve sobriety. So how does this happen? If it looks more distressful to choose abstinence from drugs and alcohol, and it's against the laws of nature to go from lesser to worse in distress when we're talking about stress, how do we actually go from that to that? Because when you were looking at quitting drugs, quitting alcohol that you're so addicted to, that your daily whatever habit is just rolling this way and there's just no way out, and to actually get abstinent and to make the huge changes seems worse. How does it happen?
Hey, Lori. Oh, Lori, welcome. Glad you woke up to watch tonight.
Hi, Lori. So you have to achieve sobriety in your change of perception. So while the law of human gravity is inviolable and the direction can never change, it is possible for people to change their perceptions. People can learn to see chemical use as the greater distress and abstinence as the lesser. So you just change your view of it, is what he's saying here. So active addiction is greater distress, abstinence, lesser distress, use of chemicals. So using chemicals feels like the lesser distress and abstinence seems worse. Recovery is there's greater distress using the chemical and there's less distress in abstinence. And that's the perception that I have had changed on me. Now, especially this far into recovery, I see now that it would be more stressful to go back to drinking. Not an option. So how does this change of perception come about? All mind-altering chemicals sooner or later cause some kind of discomfort. Eventually, if you're drinking, you're drugging, and you're making a habit out of it, you're becoming an addict, it always has some type of discomfort. You either have the loss of respect of family and friends, you have the threat of losing a job, poor school performance, severe gastrointestinal symptoms, hangovers, hallucinations, falls and bruises, convulsive seizures, the distress of poor memory. Oh, my memory was getting horrible.
Yeah.
The threat of imprisonment or the terror of delusions. Yes, it is, Michael Teeter.
I relinquish control.
Thank you, Teeter, for the reminder of our 8:37, usually 8:40, Cassie's quote of the day.
Good evening, my recovering addict family. I'm here tonight with your motivational quote on Recovering Addicts. Life isn't about finding yourself. Life is about creating yourself. George Bernard Shaw. And as always, you guys know what to do. Let's bring it together and continue to spread that love.
Thank you, Cassie.
Amen. Good job, Cassie. Thank you for that quote.
A wonderful quote. I liked it a lot.
Oh, yeah.
It's all love.
So when any of those above stated distresses, discomforts hit us, right? When any of these alone or in combination, a lot of the times it's more a combination than alone, reach a critical point where the misery equals or exceeds whatever relief the chemical provides, then the person's perception of what is greater or lesser distress changes. So that's another rock bottom. You see what he says there? You're using chemicals, you're not seeing that being abstinence going to be any better for your life. All of a sudden you start experiencing these loss of memories, these bumps and bruises, and all of a sudden the scales go wing, ding, and then you have a different perception on seeing that, okay, abstinence is probably going to be a better thing at this point.
I kind of got distracted by model doll and sexy underwear, but I listened.
It's not sexy underwear, it's shapewear.
Shapewear. Oh, Sunray. I think I said Bob. You guys have similar emoji.
Oh, they do have the same thumbnail thingies.
If you notice, I don't know your names. I know your emojis or your profile pics.
Yeah. That's awesome, son. So let me read that again. When any of these alone or in combination reach the critical point where the misery equals or exceeds whatever relief the chemical provides, then the person's perception of what is greater or lesser distress changes. This then is what happens when rock bottom occurs. Rock bottom is nothing more than a change of perception where abstinence is seen as a lesser distress than the use of chemicals. You guys agree with that term? I'm going to type that in there so we can read it, read on it, and think about that one. Just chew on that word for a minute and talk about it. I'm going to have this scroll across the screen here in a second. Oops, not that button. You can talk for a second.
I'm talking. So, sidebar on the gross chew story. I learned today or yesterday. This is nothing to do with addiction. Well, coffee maybe, but they make coffee like it's poo coffee. Like they give the coffee beans to the animals, and then they dispose of it, and then they wash it, and then they sell it. And supposedly it's like the best coffee
Comes from a cat.
one has ever had. It totally grosses me out. I don't think I'd ever try it. But I learned that today. I didn't know that that was a thing. So now you all know. You're welcome. Oh, Brandon, I did take over the live one day. Well, me and Tara did. So if you go back a few episodes, you can hear my side of the story. And Tara's husband came on, Matt, and shared his story. And then Tara shared her
Thank you,
story.
Sunray. Thank you very much.
So yes, go back and find that one. I can't remember what episode number it was.
I don't either. 90.
But I did. I stole the show.
And thanks for being here, you guys. This is our 100th live stream since COVID hit. We've been here every night. And not just helping create a community, but actually having the pleasure and the privilege of being a part of this community.
Yeah, that's wonderful. We feel so blessed.
Blessed.
I'm repping the blessed today. I feel very blessed. Yeah, check it out. Oh, maybe I can find it.
Ooh, I liked where Sunray's talking. Thanks, brother. Yeah, that'll be a milestone for our little thing here. And if you don't know, y'all, I just sent officially, I told you guys I was telling everybody about my 2-week notice. I officially emailed my resignation letter to my job. My last day is going to be 16 July, and I will full-time be doing this. And I'm not trying to do YouTube full-time. That's not the goal here. YouTube is just a place where we can educate and we can grow a community together. This is a bridge to a community. What's happening is the stuff behind the scenes is this nonprofit that's named Recovering Addict. And that is going to affect not only globally through digital means, where people who are suffering addicts and anybody that wants to learn relapse prevention can come free of charge, just anybody from all over the world. If there's ever a pandemic, we're going to have Zoom meetings. We'll be able to schedule one-on-one counseling. We'll be able to do everything like that. This nonprofit's going to be able to support all of that, plus create a facility downtown locally and all that kind of stuff. So on the 16th, I am no longer a part of the Department of Defense. I am doing this full time. And I just want to I want to say thank you to everybody that's been here from the very beginning. My first 1,000 subscribers, when we hit there, are that you guys already right now are the very foundation of what is being built in the years to come. And I'm just really glad to be a part of it and that you're a part of it with me.
Yes. And I shared that link to Brandon. You're on YouTube, right? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, so if you want to watch our side, there's the link. It says at Brandon.
That's Fleece's story. Fleece and my buddy Matt's wife, Tara, they give their experience of being married to drunks.
Yes.
Neither one of them being alcoholics or addicts, but had to live with us. And they got 2 different types of dudes in their life, so it's kind of 2 different sides of the story. Matt was kind of a closet drinker and hit it, as well as he could. Me, I was just outright blatant in your face, fall down, blackout drunk.
Yep. It was a good show. It was fun.
Merc, you are amazing. That's all I got to say. There's nothing more I can say.
Yeah, you're pretty cool.
Yeah, you're pretty cool.
I like you. So Mercful to be part of this community.
Is that
Cherie?
Cherie. All right, so rock bottom. What do you guys think about that? Scrolling across. I'm going to take it off so Cherie doesn't have a seizure from scrolling
Love.
letters. So rock bottom is nothing more than a change of perception where abstinence is seen as lesser distress than use of chemicals. I can make it like a karaoke. Ready? Read it with me. Rock bottom is nothing more than a change of perception where abstinence is seen as lesser distress than use of chemicals.
You're supposed to sing it. Oh, Jolie needs more cards. Y'all need to send us an email if you need more cards, so I know who to send them to. I'll forget.
If at any time after abstinence is achieved, even many years later, abstinence becomes the greater distress, relapse will occur. Woo! Listen to that. Let's chew on this. Everybody listen. This is recovery related, okay? This is this is the gold nugget, I think, out of now that we kind of got our minds wrapped around what rock bottom is, okay? It's when your perception changes of what is the lesser of two evils in a sense, right? Being abstinence is lesser distress. So I'm going to go abstinence. Now, listen to that again. If at any time after abstinence is achieved, years down the road, even if abstinence is achieved, even many years later, if abstinence becomes the greater distress, relapse will occur. If you all of a sudden have a perception where drugs and alcohol become a lesser distress, relapse will occur. So moving from the road to recovery to the road to relapse is going to change this perception. I guess that's a warning to everybody. Warning to all of us.
Maybe you can talk your friends when you do your time into putting us on. I don't know if they allow that.
Not in jail.
It'd be cool.
Are you going to a county jail, Ashley, or what's going on?
You found us in jail?
No. TikTok.
Or TikTok. Oh, you're blessed for TikTok. I put 2 comments together.
And my kids made all kinds of fun of me when I was making TikToks.
They're like, they're cute. Thanks, Murd. Appreciate it.
I'm glad it's helping, Murd. If it wasn't helping, if we weren't adding value and this was just blah, 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 we're wasting our time. And I'm not going to come up here and waste my time, nor do I want to waste your time watching this. And I appreciate the hour that you guys spend with us. It is very meaningful.
It's been awesome watching your growth too, Murd, from when we started and where you're at now, and your relationship with your dad being your sponsor. So inspiring and amazing, Murd.
Very, very. I'd love to have your dad back on the show one of these days to give one of his another motivational speech.
Yeah, he was awesome. I mean, you're both awesome.
Yeah, your dad he's got that old guy wisdom that you're just like, oh man, I want to be there one day. I want to have that wisdom, you know. I aspire to be a guy like your dad.
Yeah. Oh no, who's my Facebook user? I'm sorry. We will be praying for you, Ashley. Oh, the same one.
Oh man.
Just your name disappeared.
Well, you got to make sure before you go, you send us your inmate information so that we can send you, stuff in the mail. Okay?
Yeah, do that.
Promise you'll do that. Send us your information so that I can get packages to put together, or even just letters, and we'll get them sent to you. Okay? Maybe we can start a pen pal thing going for you.
Ooh.
Make sure we got that information, please. So the natural course of addiction is such that rock bottom will come if no one interferes. But people in addiction environment with every good intention may remove some of the distress that the chemical produces. For example, a coworker may cover for, here's what Felice is talking about a lot of times. You want a person to experience this definition of rock bottom. Obviously, you don't want somebody overdosing, drunk driving. We're talking about the distress of chemical use. Now, if there's the distress of chemical use, it's going to help naturally. It's going to take its course, and naturally it's going to change the perception of the addict to see that abstinence is a better choice of life. But people in the addict's environment with every good intention, they have good intentions. This talks about spouses to husbands or wives, whatever. may remove some of the distress that the chemical produces. For example, a coworker may cover for a colleague who is hungover, and this prevents a change in perspective of a greater and lesser distress and permits the activity, the active addiction to continue. This is why people who remove distressful consequences of chemical use are referred to as enablers. If you ever wondered what the definition of being an enabler is somebody that removes the distress of a situation so that the addict or alcoholic doesn't see the full weight of what their actions are actually doing. And I like Felice's example. I'm not sure where she got it.
It was from an article. I'll find it and post it.
But say I come home one night drunk, blacked out drunk, and pass out on the front yard. Her enabling that situation would be to drag me up off the front yard, take me to bed, put the covers over me. I wake up and don't remember a thing anyway. But if I were to wake up on the front yard, sprinklers hitting me, sun beating down on me at 10 o'clock in the morning, I come in and the family's having normal family life without me, and I've been passed out in the yard as the neighbors drive by, I start to feel the distress of my chemical use, allowing me to feel that distress so that my perception starts to change, so that that rock bottom becomes more clear, that abstinence is the better road. That is how you don't enable.
Yeah, I posted the link to that article. It's
Hey, there's
great.
Nicole.
Great. Yeah. Hello, Nicole.
Real Talk Recovery. Everybody go check her
Real
out.
Talk. What up? Yeah.
Throw her link. Oh, you already did?
No, this is the link to the article that he's talking about.
Throw Nicole's link in there too.
And I will throw Nicole's link in there also.
Unless Mark beat you to it.
Nope. Too slow. But yeah, read that article. It's good for non-addicts. It's good for addicts. You kind of get the other side of what your family will probably do if you are an addict. Or share it with somebody who needs it. It helped me out tremendously.
That right there actually just clarified, because I've always thought, enabling. How are you enabling? I kind of had some ways about it, but that little sentence right there really cleared it up.
Yeah, that's how I've been.
If a coworker's covering up for an employee that's hungover, they're not going to feel the full weight of their actions in active addiction.
Yep.
This is why people who remove the distressful consequences of chemicals are referred to as enablers. That makes sense. That really made sense to me. So now next time Felice wants to eat a whole chocolate cake, I'm going to let her.
Until I'm 800 pounds and be like, it's your fault.
It's not my fault no more.
There's the consequence of your action.
I'm going to actually go buy her one.
No, stop it. Unless
That's
it's a keto cake. I like a keto cake. I feel like I won. No, you won. Dang it.
Did Merck win?
He did. He got me all chatty. Let's do over.
Team Merck. Yeah, you guys go check out Nicole for Real Talk. She's amazing.
Wait, why did Polly get 10 points?
Oh, you guys, Nicole is doing something awesome. She's logistically lined up 7 people for 7 days to have story time. Not story time, like a speaker meeting type of thing, where 7 different people are going to come on her channel 7 days in a row and give their story of strength and hope. Great job logistically. That is awesome to line up 7 people like that.
Oh, and just so y'all know, because I did say that I was going to start being comfortable, being uncomfortable, and losing weight. I am down 16 pounds.
Felice has lost 16 pounds, y'all.
I'm doing pretty good. I want to know why Polly gets 10 points.
What are you getting 10 points for, Polly?
Oh, about his oracle.
That was a quote.
Good job, Polly.
Oh, 10 points for Polly. Okay, whatever.
Oh, 10
Only
points.
because John said so.
Maryland, episode 88 is my episode. All of you.
Oh, 88?
Yeah.
That's cool. Okay, so check it. On the enabling topic right there, remember, allowing the natural unpleasant consequences to occur is not the same as punishing the user. Punishing is inflicting pain from the outside. If, for example, a drinker sees marriage as the source of distress, he or she will separate rather than quitting drinking. So if they're looking at their marriage, it's falling apart, and they're saying, well, it's not the drinking, it's the marriage. Even though if the drinking's probably causing it, they're going to choose drinking over marriage. Only when the alcoholic discovers that the drinking is the cause of the misery will sobriety become a solution. See, our perception. Remember all that we went, what was that? Back here on this other chapter, cause and effect, I think it was. But the one guy was like drinking half whiskey and half something or something. So he kept switching and cutting out everything but the alcohol until it was just straight alcohol. Oh, it must be the ice. I'll take the ice out. You know, never putting the problem on the substance. So that was pretty crazy.
Thank you guys for all that encouragement. It's wonderful.
Addicts' perception also change when they see the rewards of abstinence. When the rewards of abstinence begin to exceed the rewards of mind-altering chemicals, addicts can change their perception of which is greater or lesser distress. When the rewards of abstinence begin to exceed the rewards of mind-altering chemicals, addicts can change their perception of what is greater or less distress. And so, that being said, I will call you, Nicole, for 100%.
Yeah, Alicia wanted to know when all this was going down. I don't know if you answered her in the chat.
What?
Nicole's whole.
Right now.
Oh, right now.
I think we missed one. I jumped in there today and caught it. So.
Mark. Dang it, Mark.
What?
He's going to win this duel at noon. Look.
Dang it, Mark.
Alrighty. Beat me to it.
That's awesome. We got a topic here, everybody. Hello. Recovery talk.
I'm listening.
Just kidding. Just kidding. So a good way to stay in recovery is to uglify. We've heard that, right? Because once the rewards of abstinence, the rewards of recovery outweigh chemical and substance abuse, if we can always keep our perception that the recovery is more rewarding than actual use of drugs and alcohol, we will never relapse. And the way to get there is to learn the tools, to discover and learn what we're learning through this educational books by doctors, and to build communities that actually really love each other and help each other. You know what I mean? We recover better together. I just got to plug that in there again.
I'm going to plug our Facebook group because now's a good time.
Now's a good time.
Now's a good time. Join the group because we love you all.
So uglify drug use and beautify recovery. Uglify drug use, beautify recovery. Meeting people who have sobriety and seeing that they are happy and productive demonstrates the rewards of abstinence. So when you see somebody who's sober and they're practicing it and they're happy and they're productive, that demonstrates the rewards of abstinence. So if you are in that type of recovery, let your light shine. Around other addicts who are suffering, let your light shine. Getting a positive response to sobriety from family, friends, colleagues is rewarding. Regaining self-esteem is a reward, and retaining one's job is a reward. Remember how we addicts and alcoholics have low self-esteem? Anytime we come across a suffering addict, any chance you get and see any positivity in them, you jump on that and you compliment that person. You lift them up and you help build their self-esteem and you show them the benefits and reward of happy sobriety. The active addict may recognize all these rewards and yet feel they are beyond reach. Sometimes they see them, but it's just out of my reach. And this is where competent therapy with realistic and appropriate self-esteem building can make a difference. With proper help, the addict may begin to believe that these rewards are achievable and perceive abstinence as the lesser distress. People vary greatly in their perception of reward and misery. So it's subjective at that point. What is reward? What is misery? And we all vary greatly. A therapist can learn what each person defines as rewards and distress in order to help the person put addiction and abstinence in the proper perspective. So if you're thinking, how can you help your friend? I have a friend who's using drugs and alcohol. How can I help him? Help him to realign their perception of reality that drugs is bad and recovery is good. And the rewards, show them the bad, show them the good outweighs the bad. And that's a positive way you can help plant the seeds that way. The combination of rock bottom experience plus realistic anticipation of the benefits of abstinence can make sobriety possible. I'm going to read that one more time. The combination of rock bottom experience plus realistic anticipation of the benefits of abstinence can make sobriety possible. That was chapter 18, Addictive Thinking, Understanding Self-Deception. Tomorrow we will talk about chapter 19, Addictive Thinkers and Trust.
Bum, bum, bum. Good night, Christy.
Good night, Christy. I can't wait. Oh, that's not tomorrow. Christy's tomorrow. You guys, Christy, 8 o'clock tomorrow, this channel will be here live with us, giving her story of strength and hope.
And Ashley, don't forget to hit us up with all your
Yeah,
info.
make sure you're doing that, yo. And we're sending off your shirt tomorrow, so hopefully that finds you quickly.
Is Ashley right? Oh.
Ashley Meredith.
Switching platforms on me. Or yeah, send us your info so we can stay in touch. Des, I went to marriage counseling and was told I had to give up drinking. Never went back again. To counseling or drinking?
I haven't seen that counselor since.
Glad it worked.
That's awesome.
I talked to my counselor about what we talked about on the show. Oh, that's cool.
Awesome.
Very cool.
Hopefully they agree that we're doing okay up here.
Why does Mark get the? I get the Nerf gun.
You can read it.
What is the Super Soaker 2000 at Merck? Really water gun jokes. I would never pull a firearm on my brother Mark. That's good.
I would definitely pull one of those Nerf guns that shoot like 800 a second.
So it's me and Sunray against Mark, I feel like. I think we're going to win.
That's going to be one for the books. Yeah, Aubrey, you guys live really far away. The lady told me that it was going to take a couple weeks to even get to the airplane that goes to Australia. So, good night, Mo.
Yeah. It'll get there eventually.
Thank you, Cherie.
It's got to go all the way to the bottom of the earth.
Down under.
Yeah. That's where it's got to go.
Uh-oh, Merck's got a focus.
Uh-oh, wait. Rock bottom could have died and said I walked away without a broken bone.
Whoa.
Blessed. Blessed.
Wow.
Always good vibes in here.
Amen, son. Good vibes only.
Oh, thanks, Cherie. Awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you, Lish, for being here for our recovery.
Yes.
Please, if you get a
100%.
Nerf gun, I'm bringing a foam sword.
It better look like Minecraft.
Yeah. Yep. I definitely get a Nerf gun. It's legit. I went to see a counselor and I was 30 and he was fresh skinned and pimples on his face. And I asked how old he was. He said 21. I laughed my way out of the office.
Way to ruin his career.
Merc with a Nerf wearing Birkenstocks. That's me. I wear Birkenstocks all the time. We'll be twins. Good night, Raylene.
Where's my phone?
Yeah, counselor says it's really good what we talk about. Awesome.
Oh,
That's good.
sweet.
Makes me feel good.
Yeah, we're doing the right thing. Then I'm happy.
Who's in Australia? Cherie and Oz and Aubrey and Des and Mrs. Chalk.
Who said that?
Sunray.
If you're in Australia, raise your hand. My counselor said, he's a jerk. I wish Link was here. He would love that one. We recovered better together. That's right, Misty.
Yes.
All right, here's our just for today. It's labeled
Merkenstocks.
tolerance. Ever reminding us to place principles before personalities. Tradition 12. Sometimes it's hard to accept others' character defects. As we recover together, we not only listen to others talk in meetings, we also watch how they walk through their recovery. The more we get to know other members, the more we become aware of how they live their lives. We may form opinions about how they work their program, and we may find that certain members upset us, or we may even hear ourselves say, if I worked their program, I would surely use. Interesting. We have found tolerance to be a principle that strengthens not only our own recovery, but also our relationships with individuals who are a source of irritation to us. It becomes easier to accept other members' frailties when we remember that we ourselves rarely turn over our own character defects until we become painfully aware of them. So just for today, I will strive to accept others as they are. I will try not to judge others. I will focus on the principles of love and acceptance. Amen. What a great one.
Yes.
That was a good one for tonight.
Thank you, Dwight.
Dwight, thank you for being a part of my recovery, man.
Always here to
Telling
support.
you guys have boosted my recovery. It's like you guys, I had a car. I'm a pretty fast learner, and I'm a pretty motivated person, and whatever you call it,
Go getter.
I'm a go-getter kind of guy.
That's okay.
But it's like you took my truck and put a turbo on it. You guys have really put a turbo on my recovery, and I appreciate that so much.
I was wondering why you guys were laughing at me when I said you looked familiar. Good day, mates.
Yeah, I thought you were in Florida.
Yep, principles over personalities.
Amen.
I got frailties.
Same.
Yep.
Same. Oh, Sky dozed off. How could you doze off with all this comedy? It's all good. No worries. We all need to rest.
Bob says, love enemies. That is something that has been at the forefront for me the last week. It's a good thing to think about.
What's a question mark for?
I don't know. Extrovert as opposed to introvert.
What do you mean by extrovert as opposed to introvert? I noticed that I'm becoming more introverted the older I get. The younger I was extroverted. I had to be in a crowd. I had to be around a ton of people. That's where I gained my strength. But now I go to the crowd and it wears me out. And I come home and remain alone, and not like alone, but secluded, just to
Will do, ma'am. Will do.
To recharge and re-strengthen my batteries.
Discord is on its way. Mark ain't beating me to this one.
Hey.
Whoa,
I'm gonna laugh if he does.
No.
East Coast. That's right. It's 11 o'clock there. It's late.
Boom.
Keep up the good work, Marilyn says.
Thanks, Marilyn. Appreciate that.
She might be behind in the.
That's okay. We'll catch up.
We're just getting started.
Oh, Nicole said she just cuts her enemies right out.
Yeah.
You got to get rid of toxic relationships for
If
sure.
it's toxic and it's toxic, and it's toxic, it's what's best for you.
Yep.
I can totally relate. I was trying to say, you was saying your description was extroverted recovering addict when you said, what's the word? Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Extroverted? No, I was thinking ambitious. Ambitious was the word I was looking for.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah.
Jeremy's got knives.
Oh, you guys want to see a knife video? This one's from Australia.
Oh, Sherry.
Sherry, you still there? You
3 pounds
still
in 2
there?
days. Keep going, Aubrey. You got this, man. I love sugar-free Jell-O.
You're welcome,
and
Bob.
keto ice cream.
And sleep
Double.
well.
Night, Bob.
Come on, where are you at? Nope, not that one. There it is. Okay, here we go, you guys. I'm going to screen share this real quick. Jeremy, watch this. We'll leave Jeremy's comment there just so we can have context.
Good thinking. Good thinking.
I am fam. Is that a knife? Is that a knife? No, this is a knife.
Oh, we love
Oh,
it,
I
Sheree.
love that one.
Love it.
Oh, that's awesome. All right. Well, I think it's that time.
Yep.
Everybody's passing out on us.
Oh, Lone Wolf Barbecue Experiment. I know that guy.
Where?
Wait for it.
Gotta wait for his comment to come up.
There's
This is my
like-
homeboy.
10-second delay or more.
There he is.
There he is.
What's up, Lone Wolf in the house?
Almost missed us, man.
Wow. How you doing, brother? This dude right here makes the best barbecue in the world, pretty much. And he's so good at making barbecue, he was invited to do a TED Talk about it. So once that YouTube video gets posted, you're darn right we're watching it on this channel.
We'll figure it out.
So we will for sure post that here. There he is. That's my buddy. That is my buddy. Hey, bro, guess what I did? I emailed my resignation letter today. It is official. What did Polly say? Those is darn East Coast people. They talk funny. No, they can't.
I think your words are perfectly pronounced. It's spelled booter and coffee. Oh, you told him what Millie said the other day.
Yeah.
Did we tell everybody?
No,
or
go
just
ahead.
Polly? So Millie calls me up the other day asking to use a coffee cup. First Teeter. Did Teeter go to bed? But anyway, she kept asking to use the New Mexico cups. I was like, no, those are special. And she's like, I'm gonna use Dad's cup. I was like, okay. I'm like, what are you gonna do with it? She's like, I'm gonna make me some coffee.
Millie, I'm gonna make some
I'm gonna
coffee.
make some coffee. I was like, awesome.
All right, it's that time. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. And thank you, God, for recovery. Thank you for education. And thank you for everybody in the chat, everybody on the Facebook group and page. And please be with the still suffering addict that the seeds of positivity to recovery will open their eyes and we will all change, dear God, for the better. Help us to grow and to love one another and to help each other grow, to always lift each other up. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Beautiful, beautiful prayer.
All right, you guys, we will be back tomorrow, and Christy will be here to share her story of strength and hope at 8 o'clock Mountain Time. Until then, do not put yourself in a high-risk situation, please, and stay strong, work your program, and remember, we recover better together.